Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again. We're back, season 27 of Sunday Night Lights, and we're kicking it all off at Oran Park for round one. We're back. I'm Alex McKellar, and joining me once again is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, we're back, and we're back to the 5K action already. I can't believe it. 5K streak the field to kick off the week at Oran Park. Corey, you with me? I think I've lost him. Crazy stuff. I don't know if he's on mute or what. Anyway, we'll come back. Hopefully, Corey will join us in a moment. But in the meantime, the guys are out there. Let me just find a camera angle there. They're just kicking off on quali. There's a few folks around, which is great. 16 car field tonight. Was not expecting 5K streak the field after the racing here this week, but we got there in the end. Great start and great support for the series continues. Leading us away, who's not out on the track at the moment, Adam Miles, car number one, returning season champion from last season, Christian Perez. He's back. Sam Devantier, the cowboy himself, won more races than anyone else last season. He's back as car number 3 here tonight for Speedy Snails. Car number 4, the Englishman Fraser Smith, really looking to have an impact this season, and he's joining us from round 1, which is fantastic. Round number 5, then Giuseppe Tellini. First of 2, often in the top split here on a Sunday night. First of 2 Italians, I should say. Giuseppe Takumi Yamato, the leading Japanese driver. Surprisingly, no Naoya Nagai, not least for round 1 anyway. The second Italian driver, Loris Mario, he's car number 7. Car number 8, returning this season, Kevin Budgeon. Great to see Kevin back. Dimitri Filippides, car number 10, out there on track tonight. Vasco Sorowski, the second ANZ driver in the field. And hopefully, Corey, you're back with me, mate.
Yes, I am, Alex. I don't know what's going on. I couldn't hear you at all, but super excited to be here. As you said, back with 5K. And Vasco Strosky is a 10K. He's only got 2 spotters here tonight, so not the shutter that we're used to seeing. But, great to see him back on the grid. I've got Xavier Sanchez from Iberia as our 11th plated car here tonight. It's great to see Xavier back. We've got Neil Gardner from the AusNZ Club driving in the 12 car here tonight. It's great to see Neil. It's just great to see everyone, honestly. I'm just going to say that a lot because, started the new season again. Everything's all exciting. We've got Hiroshi Ueda from Japan as our 13th plated car. He'll be looking for some good results. We've got Antonio Delgado from Iberia. I do believe this will be his debut here in Sunday Night Lights in the 14th plated car. We've got Akira Nakajima making his return here as the 15th plated car from the Japan Club. And wrapping up the field, we got Joachim Osbeck from Scandinavia in the 16th plated car, Alex.
Yeah, he's back again for another crack. He joined us for at least one race last season, but early shots fired for Yamato, the Japanese drivers. They're short one Naoya Nagai, but they're still keen to lead the field in quali as Yamato sticking with a 13.6, if you don't mind, on his first lap. That's fairly outstanding. A lot of people happy to be in the 14s for quali, and his first lap was a 13.6 as he comes to round out lap number 2. What's Yamato got for us? He's got a 13.689. No one actually went slower, which is actually not something that's unusual here at Oran Park. The first laps on cold tyres often pretty decent, if I'm honest. We've got a couple of late starters. Adam Miles, he's just either done his... Yeah, he has. He said his first flying lap was a 13.7. Drops him on the front row provisionally. Christian Perez, our returning champion, he's now out and about. And he's... he's just pipped Miles off the front row with a 13.7. Gee, there's some good times out there, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. These guys are going absolute hell for leather right now. And with the first lap being just as important as the second lap around here, I'm not sure how many people are actually going to go out and complete a second lap.
Yeah, we might see. I think most of Most have gone around there. Swarovski's just done his second lap. Miles and Perez definitely the last two out there on flying laps. Perez just behind Miles on track. Miles coming around the back of the circuit now through, excuse me, through that pseudo, well, it is a chicane, but you're flat through there in fourth gear, down through the final corner now at Recaro, turn 12, get it right out near the wall if you dare. Don't clip it, of course. 0x will invalidate your lap as we see Miles go by. Does he improve on his time? Does not appear to. Christian Perez now. What can he do, the Spaniard? He manages to go a little bit quicker, but not quick enough to catch Yamato, who will be on pole as the clock continues to tick down. We'll have a couple of minutes before the racing starts, Corey. But amazing to see. We finished last season with an average strength of field of over 5k, and we started off again, mate. That's great to see the community coming back out once again.
That's exactly right, Alex. And, not only did we average over 5K for the whole season, but we had a new highest record for strength of field in Skippy racing. As I do believe qualifying is now over, time for us to start going through the grid.
Let's do exactly that. Season 27, round 1 kicks off at Oran Park, of course. Takumi Yamato for Nagai Racing School. He starts off pole. Not unfamiliar to see a Japanese driver on pole, but not often that we've seen Yamato instead of Nagai. Congratulations on taking his first pole here on a Sunday night. Christian Perez for Astro Racing Team. He's just behind and on the front row, looking to defend his title out of second off the grid. Loris Amadio from Italy. He's out of third. Welcome back to Amadio, who didn't race with us last season. Adam Miles from UK&I continues his good run of form, starting the season off in fourth. Fifth off the grid tonight will be the leading ANZ driver, Speedy Snails, Sam the Cowboy Devantia. Just behind him or beside him on the third row will be Fraser Smith from the UK&I club. Joachim Osbeck from Scandinavia starts from 7th, just ahead of Akira Nakajima, again from Nagai Racing School out of 8th. Ninth off the grid tonight will be Xavier Sanchez out of Iberia. He usually starts a bit further back, hasn't been qualifying too well. It's good to see him a bit further forward this time round. Team Clowns' own Vasco Swarovski starts out of 10th, just ahead of ANZ's Neil Gardner in 11th. Antonio Delgado from Iberia out of 12th. 13th off the grid tonight, Hiroshi Ueda from Japan. Dimitri Philippides out of 14th. Giuseppe Toletti for Wavy Lee Racing out of 15th. And Kevin Budgeon, less than a second off the pace, but finds himself starting last, Corey.
That's what you get with these shorter tracks, Alex. Tighter margins and even tighter times between the entire field. As the revs start to rise, the red lights mean rev, and the green lights mean go. We're underway for season 27, round number 1 here at the Oran Park Raceway, as the field goes streaming down into the sweeper, turn number 1. Who is going to take the advantage? We can always see some people trying to look for some desperate moves, Alex.
Yeah, it's still early days, but they're getting around there okay. I'm just trying to see if there's anyone. Nah, 3 wide at the rear of the field, if you don't mind, but they've managed to get it sorted. As up the front, Yamato leads them away, side by side, behind. Who's making the move? Is it Miles on Amadio or Miles? They still remain side by side. The front two will be licking their lips at the opportunity. It is Miles who pokes the nose in front of Amadio. Side by side, they go up and over the hill. One of 3 tracks in iRacing that loops back on itself. And we're fortunate to have this track still with us, of course. Not in real life anymore, the old Oran Park, but it's preserved in all its glory here on iRacing. Yamato out to a 6/10 lead nearly already from Perez. He himself is half second ahead of Miles, not surprisingly given the battling that's been going on. And he and Amadio still continue to go side by side through the final corner. They finally get it sorted. It's actually Smith has gone by Amadio. I correct myself there. And Miles is in that breakaway that's now got a second gap behind him to Smith there, Corey.
Yeah, it's crazy how much change one lap makes, because this second pack with Loris and Fraser absolutely battling tooth and nail going through the sweeper this time. Oh, and I think I just saw a lock up, and it's all getting crazy already, Alex. We're only on lap 2 of a 20-lap race.
Yeah, Mario, big loser the rear there. It's allowed Devantia to come through. Devantia now back to where he started in fifth after probably dropping a one or two at the start. He's tucked in behind Fraser Smith. Now, Fraser Smith is now 1.5 seconds off our front group here, which is currently led by Yamato, doing a fantastic job, the Japanese driver. But our introduction to Fraser Smith was a couple of seasons ago at the NERB GP layout, and he astonished me that night by being able to bridge a gap. Oh, as you see him in the background using all the track and more of the rear, really wanting to let go there. And he's one of the few people I've ever seen that was able to bridge a gap between a secondary pack up, back up to the front and get right back into the action. So if anyone can do it, I think Smith might have a go, Corey.
Oh, that's exactly right, Alex. And I do believe he did that a couple times throughout the season too, which made the feat even more impressive the first time we seen it. And with Sam Devantia there sitting on his tail, just absolutely tucked in on that gearbox, I reckon these guys would be in with a shot to close up that gap. You also got to remember the main difference between this track and the Nürburgring GP track is that there's a lot less drafting opportunities here. This is more of a technical kind of track. There's only a couple of places where you can really try and gain an advantage using the draft, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Realistically, the draft to sort of try and manufacture a pass is only really good on the start finish straight. As we saw Yamato make his first mistake of the night, letting Perez through that very section into turn two. Beautiful challenge it is. Turns 1 and 2 here at Oran Park. You're flying through there flat out in fifth. You lift off down into fourth and heavy braking left to right. All the time fearing for the car letting go. But it also at the same time is the primary passing opportunity on the circuit. So quite a unique challenge here at Oran Park, and one these drivers are tackling in earnest here tonight. But two mistakes there, I reckon, for Yamato. One was the initial mistake that nearly cost him the rear of his car off into the dirt, and at the same time it was compounded by letting Perez through, who will be very tough to pass from here on out, Corey.
That's right. Perez is definitely one of the harder defenders, as we've just lost Fraser Smith and Sam Devantia. They went through turn one, and Fraser Smith went out wide, got into the grass in the braking zone for two, and Sam Devantia in turn locked up trying to go deep. And there's a lot of feeling in the radio right now, Alex.
Yeah, just going to try and catch it. Oh, Smith, yeah, as you say, that run left to right in the braking zone, he's gone. And then Devantia at the same time has the rears let go. I don't know if there was touch there, or let's go back and have another look. They've come through turn one, the kink there. Yeah, Smith's let go, and then Devantia's just caught himself out in the braking zone. You can go 2x2 there. It's not easy. And you've just seen a couple of the best going around at the moment show just how difficult it can be. Both with separate, very marginal errors there. Not much in that. I don't know what they're blowing up about. Corey?
Fraser Fist was blowing up about the fact that Sam went for a move this early into the race, I do believe. But what this has actually allowed is Loris Amadio now has all the space in the world around him. He's got a second back to Joachim Osbeck, and he's got 2.6 ahead to Adam Miles, sitting in fourth. So he's sitting kind of pretty here in space on his own, not really looking at getting challenged here, Alex.
Yeah, you can head down, tail up, focus on his driving and his lines. Meanwhile, back up front, we've got Perez, who has almost cracked half a second lead. Of course, still well within draft range for Yamato, and Miles in between, sorry, I should say at the tail of that lead pack. These three really are the ones who are going to determine the podium, I would think, at this stage, with Amadio, with the loss of Smith and Devantia running a fairly lonely race, I should say. May not trouble the scorers higher than fourth. Joachim Osbeck, he is running there within the top five, up a couple of spots. The 16th plated car tonight with Nakajima and Swarovski right in amongst it. Looks like they've had a bit of an adjustment to the livery this season for the two clowns racing, or the clowns racing, I should say. Yeah, I think he's shifted to... Oh, there you go. That's what you like. He's added a bit of green to his car, Corey. Every car could use a bit of green, in my opinion, and Swarovski's got the message.
Oh, that's exactly right, Alex. Both of us Favourites of having green on our cars, and maybe a little bit more black. It would have made it look a little bit sharper. But it's great to see them coming out with a new livery for this season, the green and gold. And I hope that they can get that livery up towards the front more often in a few of these races.
Yeah, well, he's up 3 spots. He's the biggest mover other than Kevin Budgeon, who's up 5 into 11th after starting last on the grid. Like I said at the start, he was only 9/10 off pole, like within a second, and he starts dead last. And he's no slouch, he's Budgeon. We saw a bit more of him last season. Great to see him back this time round. And he, like I said, he's up 5 spots and just sitting outside the top 10 at the moment. Meanwhile, back to our leaders. We've got Perez leading, just about that half a second mark. Miles, surprisingly, must have made a mistake in the last lap or so. He's some 6/10 behind Yamato. And I wouldn't say struggling to hang on, but it's in the danger zone. Once you hit that 6/10, particularly if Yamato was a bit closer. But no, they're still holding station at the moment. Now down to 4/10 after that singular most impactful draft zone that is the start-finish straight there, Corey, and hopefully they'll get a bit closer and get a bit more amongst it.
I'm pretty sure these top three, Alex, are just biding their time here. I mean, this is a very short track, only 1 minute 13 lap times, but they got to do it 20 times altogether. So these guys are probably going to be holding off until like lap 15 before they really start thinking about getting in amongst it with each other.
Yeah, could be. I just wonder, the way the draft works at the moment, my personal experience is that half a second or more you're struggling to hang on. If you're inside half a second, you're usually a show when it comes to matching the drivers around you with pace. So with a little bit of luck, if you're half a second or inside, you can have a crack. Beyond that, you're fighting just to hang on, typically. And that's about the zone that both Yamato and Miles are in. Meanwhile, Amadio, he's sitting comfortably in fourth. He's got a second. He's sort of managing that gap behind him to Osbeck. Osbeck not really making a massive impression on it. Meanwhile, we've got Nakajima and Swarovski battling it out for 6th and 7th respectively. Saw a bit of smoke in the background. Not uncommon this season to lock up, particularly the front left into turn 2. Corey, seems to be a bit more, the car seems to be a bit more prone to it this season.
There might be a little bit of a change with the way that they've done the braking dynamics on these cars, and maybe just a little bit of a tweak to the tyre dynamics as well. It's great to see a little bit more of a lockup because these things are pretty low on the downforce side of things, as I just saw Loris Amadio take the grass through turn 8. But it's great to see, just these small little improvements. It just makes everything look that little bit more realistic for us, especially as broadcasters.
Yeah, we just saw Budgeon. We'll go back and check the replay. Budgeon go up the inside. There you go. At Champion Curve at turn 4. Gets it done over Gardner up the bridge. Can he? Yeah, look, that's a solid move. Budgeon now, as we'll head back to live pictures, Budgeon now, he's moved up more than anyone else. 6 positions, double anyone else in the field in terms of movement, and moves himself into the top 10 at the expense of the ANZ driver Neil Gardner that time round. There's really the solid passing opportunity is as solid as it can be around here, at least, is through turn 1 and 2. However, having said that, if you can get it done through 3 potentially into the braking zone, depending on how you exit off 2, and as we saw Budgeon last time round, it's just ahead of him. Fraser Smith having another moment there. He's gathered it up, but that's cost him some time. The Englishman down in 9th being chased by his compatriot Budgeon, who's on a burner.
Seems Fraser Smith just struggling a little bit here for grip, maybe driving a little bit angry after that little stoush that he had with Sam Devantia in turn 2. He's still in the top 10. He's still holding the 1 second over Budgeon at the moment. And, hopefully he can try and pull up this gap to Xavier Sanchez, which is out to 1.9 seconds now, Alex.
Yeah, Xavier's no slouch either. Smith down 3 positions where he started on the grid. Will be looking to do what he can in what's left. Perez has now done an undrafted 12.89, which is the fastest lap of this race. Many a folk envious of getting into the 12s, I'm sure. Yamato now 7/10 behind. And this is what I mean by, if you're 0.5 and above, you're still in the draft, but you're hanging on, right? You're not really in a position to attack. the driver in front. Whereas Miles, you can see he's within that half a second mark. But this track is so hard to sort of manufacture a pass. It's the original pressure to pass track where we coined the phrase, where you really got to put all sorts of pressure on to manufacture something. Whereas at other, I guess, longer Grand Prix style tracks, you might get more of an opportunity with the draft. Here, you're really just using the draft to be able to put the pressure on and see if you can't manufacture something. So Perez now almost out to 8/10. Just, as he's clipped the wall on the exit, he's really pushing hard. The Spaniard, the returning champion from last year, season 26, he's really pushing hard. That's cost him 3/10 there off his lead there, back down to half a second there, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And, this just goes to show what this win would mean to Perez, putting the first stamp on the season. And he's going to be pushing so hard to try and keep it. Adam Miles actually just clocking in the fastest lap of the race, too, with a 12.883, obviously drafted off of Yamato. But these three are now back into battle mode, and we're starting to get to that range on where, they're going to try and close up and maybe try and look to pressure each other into making a pass, Alex.
Yeah, potentially. It'll be interesting to see what they can do. I just don't know if they've got much for Perez, really. He's driving away with it at the moment. As we look from the rear of Perez's car on the gearbox cam, you can see they're back out to 6.5 or just around 6/10. So he's put sort of a tenth and a half once you count out that. Look how close they go to that big wall on the exit. And he's just really doing it his own way at the moment, as these guys are just really hanging on to the coattails, so to speak.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. Perez just completely unbeatable right now. He's even gained a position from the start. He started from P2, and once he took the lead, he didn't look back. And Yamato's probably sitting here thinking, where did my qualifying pace go? Why can't I keep up with this man in front of me? There's, as you said, it's bouncing between 5 to 7/10 as they go throughout the lap. So he's got to be scratching his head, wondering what can he do to try and close this gap right now, Alex.
Yeah, potentially. The Japanese, of course, seem to have nailed quali collectively. They're doing a fantastic job, the Japanese. Maybe they need to share some of these trade secrets, but the competitor in me says no, they probably won't. They want to stay on top. Joachim Osbeck now still sitting in an island. Although now he's on the back of Amadio, as we see. He's getting a bit sketchy in the closing stages of lap 12. Coming through to the final corner now. Grabbed a bit of the grass on the exit of 9. Hasn't cost him too much, I don't think. Yeah, just a little bit. He's in the draft of Amadio now. Amadio moving right over the driver's left to not give up the draft. Osbeck choosing to stay and cover a little less track distance, but still within the draft. Whereas just behind now, up 4 positions now. He's got someone out of the way as Team Clowns Vasco Sorowski. He's sitting in 6th, but he has been dropped by Osbeck, who's now he's the better part of 2 seconds up the road, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. That's the give and take of these pressure to pass tracks. Once you start battling with someone, because of the technical nature of the track, it's very easy to lose the car ahead of the battle. And we can see that right now with Vasco Sorowski being 1.7 seconds back from Osbeck. And I don't think he'll be able to pull this gap in. So he's just going to have to try and work on his defense against Xavier Sanchez at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. As a check back in on Smith and Budgeon, the 2 UK&I drivers, they're looking to get together, I would think. I just thought I saw... there's a particular quirk here where the drivers come out of the final corner. They really want to push over to the far right of the circuit as you see them returning there. It looked like Perez clipped the pit exit wall there. But what it does do is it registers them in the telemetry as entering the pits. So I've just seen both Perez and Miles log in as going to the pits. And then I just I cut to them, and of course, no, it's just that one of the quirks of this particular track. And of course, the race continuing for the lead, as it were. Let's check a bit further down the field. We've got Giuseppe Tellini. He's riding in an island on his own. Philippides down in 12th behind him. Gardner I think he's the one we lost from that battle. That saw Swarovski move forward. He's sitting in 13th. Devantier now recovering as best he can down in 14th, just ahead of Ueda, who's coming under attack from Delgado. Side by side, they go up over the bridge. Maybe for last place, but these two still racing as hard as they can for 15th and 16th respectively as we jump back up the front. Once again, Perez out to a 0.8 of a second lead, really pushing the pace. He's done a 12.81. Only the top three are in the 12s, Corey. The rest, I'd say wallowing in the low 13s, but I'd be happy wallowing in a low 13. I don't know about you, mate.
I mean, for me, wallowing in a low 13 is probably a pipe dream. I could probably barely get into a 14 if we're being completely honest. But, the pace that these top three are putting on is absolutely insurmountable. 7 seconds between Yamato and Amadio right now, which is absolutely incredible on a track like this, Alex.
Yeah, it is, given the calibre of the field. A bit surprising, but we haven't seen any real major incidents, but there's been enough to keep everyone busy and perhaps open a bit of a gap here or there. Obviously, it's the biggest gap being substantially the 7-second gap, as you say, between the lead pack, who are now stretched out a bit like Brown's cows themselves, some 8 and 7/10 between, splitting each of the three drivers there. Sanchez now, he's continuing on. Down in P6, he is coming through the final corner. Looks like it might close up a bit now. He's picked off Swarovski, and Swarovski now in P7, battling with Sanchez. Now we've got 5 laps to go as they cross the line. Any thoughts, mate? We've got Perez dominating. He's going to be tough to beat. Do you think he hangs on and wins it?
Honestly, I think he does, Alex. I mean, I think that he's just been cruising the last couple of laps. So he's really going to start pushing as these last few laps start to fall into the books. I reckon that gap's going to go from about 0.8 of a second out to at least 1.3 before the end of this race.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, if he breaks the draft, he's gone for all money, right? So that one mistake from Yamato. Oh, Miles has gone through on Yamato. We missed that. Let me see if I can't find that on replay. And Budgeon's had a bit of a moment as well. I'm trying to find the move, Corey, where he went past, but I'll dig it up at some point and see if I can't find it while we're tapping away here. Perez, though, he's out now to an 8/10, and Yamato's actually dropping. He's now a second behind Miles, who's now set about trying to catch Perez, although Perez has just set the fastest lap by a couple of hundredths with a 12.7, Corey.
Absolutely incredible, Alex, that he's doing a 12.7 with no draft assistance at all. Perez is just on another level right now. I think he's definitely earned the alien moniker for this race at the very least, because that's just absolutely incredible speeds that he's putting down right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to find where he put the move on. Not seeing it anywhere. Oh, here we go. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's down into the Old Faithful, turn 1, turn 2, side by side with the Japanese driver who seeds the corner. And Miles gets it done cleanly. There was another pass I wanted to see. Xavier Sanchez going for P6. Same sort of manoeuvre. Up the inside through Swarovski. Pushes out. Swarovski has a look. Locks up behind him. Gets the move done. It's really... Oh, as behind them, there was some action as well. It's really... the only place that you can guarantee a regular opportunity to pass, as Miles now has dropped and Perez is away. So Perez is now 1.3, 1.4 seconds ahead. And what did you say? 1.7 you reckon he was going to get? Well, he's already up to 1.5. There you go.
And how's this, Alex? He just dropped another fastest lap of the race. A 12.688.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible speeds right now.
Yeah, quite the steerer is the Spaniard. Champion from last season, of course. Came back in the final round to take it out of Brands Hatch. He will be the car in the main frame of the new season's thumbnails on YouTube for the race replays. Check him out on the Top Split on YouTube, of course, where this replay will be hosted, and you'll see Christian's car on the thumbnail this season as the returning champion. Adam Miles now is 1.8, even more than you thought there, Corey. Perez really just driving away with the 12.6, another purple lap for the Spaniard. Yamato now right on the tail. Is he going to have a look at Miles with 2 to go? He might save it up for the next lap. Amadio's on his own. No, he's not. Amadio's been caught, if you don't mind. Osbeck, Sanchez, Sorowski, they're all in it. Osbeck showing the nose, perhaps more in defence this time as we see the 11 of Sanchez starting to get his groove on, looking to move forward further still, up 2 positions into P5, looking to get deeper in there, into turn 3 he goes, showing the nose everywhere he can, Corey.
Xavier Sanchez is definitely one of the more tenacious racers we have in the field today. And just looking at Vasco Strosky just in behind wall, got into the grass and had a big tail slapper there. And, well, that's going to affect him for the rest of the race. He probably won't get any further up unless there's a little bit of drama. But Xavier Sanchez will definitely absolutely look for a move just about anywhere he thinks he can stick that Skippy, Alex.
Yeah, he will. With 1 to go, why not? Meanwhile, up in front, Perez has broken the back of it. He's gone. 1.7. Yeah, Corey might be on the money. Miles with Yamato now on the white flag. The white flag lap, Yamato not close enough, shows a nose, but no go. Amadio ahead of Osbeck, who is also not close enough. Sanchez not close enough. Sorowski not close enough. Fraser Smith bearing down on them, but will run out of laps, as will Nakajima. Tellini, yeah, look, they're all strung out now. Sam Devantier the closest to any sort of overtaking action, because you really set up for this lap and it's kind of fizzled out. I thought everyone would be going for glory here on this final lap, but they're all too strung out. Meanwhile, Miles ahead of Yamato. He'll probably hold him out. He's actually caught Perez a bit. 4/10 on this lap. That's not a bad effort. Perez perhaps relaxing a little bit, knowing that he's going to be tough to challenge. In fact, they're really closing in. They've caught him 7/10 this lap, Corey.
Yeah, they have, Alex. So I think it is what you think. Perez really just sandbagging this last lap. He doesn't want to get the fastest lap on this one because he's already put in that 12.6.22 and probably across the line. Perez is the winner here, round number 1. Adam Miles getting P2 and Takumi Yamato coming home in 3rd. And there's absolutely no question on who our top 3 was going to be, Alex, because these guys were just in another universe altogether.
Yeah, as the rest of the field starts coming through, they kind of finish where they started the final lap. And, yeah, a few of them coming home now. Devantier crossing the line. Just seeing, I think, yeah, everyone's crossed the line now. And we're pretty much done for round 1 in terms of at least the racing at this point. So let's go check out our results. As I say, we're at round 1, season 27 of Sunday Night Lights. Oran Park was the venue. Christian Perez returns to take round 1 after taking the season, wins it by just under a second after lifting and cruising. He was down almost a second on his best, just relaxing on his way around to take the checkered flag and the first round of Sunday Night Lights. Adam Miles returns with another podium, starting the season off well, grabbing second, just ahead of Takumi Yamato, once again having a strong finish in the absence of Nagai-san and also the leading Japanese driver here tonight. Leading Italian was Loris Amadio, who had a strong return to Sunday Night Lights this season. Finishing in 4th. 5th tonight was Joachim Osbeck, which is certainly his best finish and a strong performance here at Oran Park. 6th tonight was Xavier Sanchez. Again, another very strong performance from the Iberian. Vasco Sorowski, probably not unhappy with his work here tonight, finishing 7th, up 3 positions from where he started in 10th for Team Clowns. Fraser Smith, UK and iDrive, was not happy with the early elbows out racing. He's finished in 8th. Akira Nakajima for Nagai Racing School, he's down in 9th, just ahead of Wave Italy Racing Team's Giuseppe Tellini, joining us once again and finishing in 10th. The Cowboy Sam Devantier driving for Speedy Snails, finishing down in 11th after the incident we saw earlier in the night. Kevin Budgeon finishing in 12th, rounding out the SNL points scoring positions for Nippy Racing. Neil Garner for ANZ down in 13th, just ahead of Dimitri Philippides in 14th. Antonio Delgado for Iberia finished, in 15th. And Hiroshi Ueda, the final driver, the final of 3 Japanese drivers, down in 16th position there, Corey. Quite a good one to kick us off. Great strong field, great strong set of drivers out there, and they put on a pretty good show.
Indeed, they did, Alex. And for a pressure to pass track, there was quite a bit of passing that was going on throughout the early and middle stages of the race. It was a little bit of a surprise, especially with the desperation pass going up through turns 4 and 5. You don't usually see a pass there too often, but as long as you get it set up right, you can definitely make that one work.
Yeah, that's it, mate. They did well, and we've got who we got here. I'm looking at our order of finishing. We got Christian Perez, who is in there for an interview. I'm just gonna grab a few things here so I know what I'm doing. There we go. All right, we'll bring him up. Christian Perez, returning champion. He started off, he didn't finish with a win other than the championship. Of course, what greater win there was. But tonight, he's finished on the top step of the dais. So Christian, welcome back and congratulations on a fantastic win.
Hi guys. Yeah, that was a stressful race because I was a little bit faster than the Adam and Takumi, but they were super constant and they were not making any mistake. So until the 2 last lap, I could relax a little bit, but yeah, to the limit every lap.
Yeah, right. It was pretty tight racing out there in terms of the cars remained close throughout. The challenge was, as you say, to remain consistent and push the limits on quite a technical little track, but it was a great return for yourself, mate. You hung on to win. Tell me, were you just relaxing on that last lap, just waving to the crowd as you drove by to take the victory? You slowed down a little bit.
Uh, no, not for that, but there were 18 laps of improving every single lap. And yeah, I when I saw Adam 1.9 or 2 seconds, I was okay. Now I can don't do the maximum because there is a line super close in both corners, one and I don't know 8 or 9, and then you can go easily to the gravel. So
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
difficult track.
Yeah, for sure. Turn 1, turn 2 certainly tests out our bravery each and every time. And also, like we were saying, the best place to put a pass on too. So it's a tough one. But listen, thank you for joining us, Christian. Congratulations again on a fantastic win. Great to see our series champion back for round 1. And still so strong. 5K soft tonight again. So congratulations, Christian. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
No one this week.
No one this week. Perfect. All right, mate. Well, hopefully.
No, I'm joking. To Vitesse, that I saw him in the chat, and he's always supporting me. So to him.
Beautiful. Yeah, I can see him in the channel there as well. Perfect. All right, mate. Well, thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, ciao.
Yeah, Corey, the great Christian Perez, took out the championship and took out race 1 here tonight. Well done.
It's definitely a great way to start his championship defense, coming out and taking over round number 1. And what a way to do it too. Getting out to basically 2 seconds all by himself in the lead, and then just cooling off that last lap. He says he wasn't cooling off, but there's no way you lose that much time without cooling off a little bit. So, great job by Perez. Absolutely incredible the way he handled himself this entire race, and he's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with this season.
Yeah, it'd be tough to beat. I'll tell you, someone who'll be giving it a go, though, is Mr. Adam Miles, who joins us once again, who put a good move on Yamato there to put himself up into contention, but at the end, it was Perez who dominated. But Adam, welcome back, and welcome back to Sunday Night Lights. A strong performance to kick off the season, mate.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I had nothing for Christian today. Was happy to sit behind Yamato-san early on. Took the opportunity when it arose, but even with the slipstream, he was just so quick. Never quite got it below 0.8, which never quite gave me the full effect of the slipstream. But even so, he was doing laps, without a slipstream that I can only do with a slipstream. So, second was the best result I could get today.
Yeah, mate, he was pretty strong out there. That was evident. And look, at a track like this where you've got to put the pressure on to try and get past, it's tough to do when the guy in front's laying down those sorts of laps, right? So, but still, don't sound too down, mate, because P2 puts you right in it. I mean, it's easy to lose a lot of points. It's not so easy to get that many. So, good start to the season. Run of podiums continuing. Hopefully, bigger things to come in the remaining rounds, mate. Are we going to see a bit here this season?
I think you should see me in every race. Looking for that first win, which might come with a little bit of, let's say, a little bit of luck, I think. But yeah, I should be here full season.
Beautiful, great to hear. All right, Adam, thanks for joining us, mate. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Just yourselves for doing the for the broadcast, and Christian for that electric pace up front today. It was just untouchable.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, thanks, Adam, mate. Look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you.
There you go, Corey. Adam Miles doing great things as always on the forums as well with his weekly wrap. Looking forward to hearing about this one. This week, I should say. There, it's one of the only things worth going to the forums to these days, apparently.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Alex. He puts in a lot of work on that forum post that he does each and every single week, and we're internally grateful for it. Um, but he had a nice, smart drive here tonight. He stayed in third for the longest time, waited for the right moment to make that move for second on Takumi, and once he took it, he just claimed that second place and made it his own. And great way to start off his season. Good solid points. And he'll be looking forward to maybe trying to challenge Perez a little bit as the season rolls on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's hopefully the red mist is cleared a bit. We'll see how we go. Mr. Fraser Smith joining us from the UK&I Club. Look, mate, you fought back after that early off, back into P8, couple down from where you started, and probably not where you wanted to finish, mate.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal, really. But I was just chatting with Sam about it because at the time I was pretty annoyed that he sort of went for a bit of a half-hearted move there. But then at the end of the day, I went on the grass on my own, so can't really grumble. But this track's a bit hard. I mean, I only did my first lap at about an hour ago, so I was not very confident, really.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and look, passing opportunity is hard to come by. But yeah, we watched the replay and we saw you both having the offs independently. Thankfully, no contact. It's funny. It's an interesting and unique characteristic of this track. Turn 1 through to turn 2 is the best passing opportunity. It's also that nuts run through there. Feel like the car just wants to, drift out into the grass. And we saw you did well actually to catch it and not run off any further, mate. And didn't cost you massively. It didn't cost you your race, which was a good outcome, if nothing else.
Yeah, I thought that was it. As soon as you get a wheel on the grass there, but I think I probably just left too much space for Sam. In hindsight, it's probably a good job I did because I would maybe ran into him. But on to the next one, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. All right, mate. Well, on to bigger and better things. Hopefully next week. And until then, mate, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just everyone involved in this who drives and you guys for doing the broadcast and some of my teammates that are probably watching. Cheers.
Beautiful. Thanks, Fraser, mate. Look forward to talking to you soon.
See you, mate.
There you go. Corey, Fraser Smith. Good to see him back. And I'm looking forward to seeing him up with pointy and fighting out for wins.
Absolutely. He is one of the better drivers. We gave him a big rap through the race, and we really meant what we said. We're not just talking half-heartedly about the skill that he possesses. And he was in the heat of the moment when I heard him going off over the radio. Great to see that he had the hindsight on his side after the race, and he had the conversation with Sam. and it looks like they got themselves sorted out with that. So it's good to see. There's great sportsmanship in the community. There's a lot of heat in the moment stuff, but everyone's always able to chat about it after the race.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. Good to, in the cold light of day, things come out, of course. All right, our final interview for today, the cowboy himself, Sam Devantier, mate. Not where you wanted to finish today.
Probably not, but I have to admit, limited time running, so that's probably on myself. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, look, it's the story of the night for a couple of folks. I think Fraser was in the same boat. I'm glad to hear you two reconciled after having they were related but independent moments there that cost you the move forward, right?
I mean, at the time he was a bit heated, but we came good at the end. He apologized, and yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Well, good to hear that that it got sorted and the racing could continue. P11, not where you wanted to finish after taking out 3 victories last season, including the biggest highest strength of field in history. You're looking forward to bigger and better things this season?
I think I am, but I'm not planning to run a full season, actually, to be honest. Probably part-time, I'd say. Just miss him there, so I have to admit that.
Yeah, all right. Well, hopefully you get the full 8 in, mate. I reckon you'd be a chance at the top spot, but I guess we'll see how the season plays out. All right, mate. We'll let you go then. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
You guys probably, just the community, everyone, my team, and that. But before I go, F1 starts tonight. Who's your chance to win the F1 race?
Oh, mate, Ferrari's on pole. Look out. That was interesting. I think there's a lot been mixed up there in the grid, hasn't there? I got no clue. I got no clue, to be honest. Ferrari's on pole, first time in a long time. They look pretty competitive too.
What about you, Corey?
Your guess is as good as mine.
There you go. All right. Yeah. All right, mate. Well, we'll let you go, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Corey, Sound Avantia, the cowboy, mixing it up here on a Sunday night, getting ready to go in for the wee hours of the morning, our time, of course, for the F1s. I don't know about you, mate, but I'm not staying up. Might be a bit more friendly for your time zone.
Oh, it is a little bit more friendly for me, but I'm not going to be staying up to watch it myself because I had Speedway last night. I pulled an all-nighter, and I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, folks, speaking of which, we might wrap it up there. Thank you to everyone who joined us here tonight, both on track and on the broadcast as well. It's been pretty good. Corey, do you want to tell the folks at home what you got going on this week?
So coming up this week on Wednesday over on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_Sim_commentator. We have the Rutnut Designs 25 from the Daytona International Speedway. It's the NASCAR road oval, the road course for the NASCARs. And that should be an interesting race. It's sponsored by one of my buddies who does all my stream overlays, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that'll be on Wednesday at 11:25 Western Australian time, which at the moment I think is still in a range of about 2:25 Eastern States. Apart from that, on Saturday night I'll be at the Pinjar Park Speedway for Outlaw Kart Racing, live streaming to the Speedway Memes Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Speedway Memes 69. And we might do a stream here or there throughout the week. I know I've definitely got to do a chat AI racing on Friday because I've been missing out the last few weeks, been busy with a lot of stuff IRL and a lot of things in the works right now, and a couple of things that I'm really excited to announce that I just can't quite announce yet.
Yeah, nice. All right, well, look out for that one, folks. Meanwhile, everything Top Split is on your screen at the moment. Join us in Discord. That's where the SNL community and all the results and what have you are posted. The Top Split on YouTube is where you'll find this and all the other 26 other seasons of Monday and Sunday Night Lights. And, of course, Top Split TV on Twitch is where you'll find us each and every week, bringing you the best Skippy action in town. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us on Track and Off, and until next time, and on behalf of the chaotic one, Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar, and ciao for now.